Hello and good evening and welcome to my first ever champagne review. So I'm feeling a little bit nervous because I've never reviewed a champagne before, and I do want to say from the get-go, I'm not a champagne expert. I don't have a huge knowledge of wine or champagne. I'm not a sommelier. I'm just your average Joe that drinks too much champagne. But I do enjoy trying different bottles, so I thought it might be fun just to do a little simple, honest review on some different champagnes. So today I've got this Mosigny champagne, and I'm starting off with this one as it's at the lower end of the scale price-wise. This comes in at £12.49. My idea for this vlog was to maybe review a different champagne every month, increasing in value until we get to, say, December. And at that point, I'd really love to try some Dom Perignon, if that's how you pronounce it. I've actually never tried it, so it's definitely a goal of mine to taste it. So that's the plan. We'll see how it goes. If it all goes Pete Tong and no one is watching, then I'll just drink the champagne myself, not record. So anyway, just a little bit about me. So my name is Leslie Henderson. I'm from Scotland. As I said, I'm not a champagne expert in any regard. I do have a little bit of whiskey knowledge. Well, I have a reasonable amount of whiskey knowledge because I work in the whiskey industry. Gosh, I shouldn't say I have a little. So I basically sell whiskey online. So through my own business called the Rare Malt Whiskey Company. It's an online business. We sell rare bottles of malt, so specialising in collectible whiskies. So I'm not going to drone on about that though. Today is about champagne, which is my personal favourite drink. And as I said, I want to start with a lower budget champagne. So this is Mosigny, I hope that's how you pronounce it. And you may or may not know, it's probably better known as the Aldi champagne. So it's from Aldi, £12.49. And I think it is available in most Aldi stores. I'm not sure about anywhere else outside the UK, but certainly it's been in plenty of Aldi stores that I've seen here. So just a little bit about the bottle itself. So it is a brut, which means it is extra dry. There's less residual sugar, so I tend to, lean towards the drier champagnes. And this one is made from 3 types of grapes. It's made from Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, and Pinot Meunier. Again, I really hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. So it's 12.5%, fairly standard for a sparkling wine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the bottle just now. We'll have a little taste and review. I really hope this goes okay since I'm recording. Woo. So there we go. Got my little glass just here. So just a little bit of information about champagne as well. As some people, I'm not sure if they're aware of this, that many countries in the world, of course, make sparkling wines, but to have the name champagne on it, it has got to come from the Champagne region in France. So any country could make a sparkling wine, as they do. Prosecco, Cava, we have English sparkling wines. They are all different types, but they cannot be called champagne unless they come from that region in France. So that may be fairly obvious, but just I thought it's worth reiterating. So this is champagne, and that is why, if you ever see the bottle, if you see bottles with champagne, the prices tend to be higher because it's got to come from this specific region. It is actually a little bit similar to Scotch whisky in that any country could make whisky, but it's got to be produced in Scotland to be called Scotch. So I'm going to just show you the glass so you can see the bubbles. So you actually can't see them all. I don't want to push that too close. This is one of the reasons I love champagne and my favourite drinks. It is that effervescent bubbliness. That is what I really, really love about champagne. So, that's glorious. Oh my gosh. So, for me, definitely, this doesn't smell like a Prosecco or another sparkling wine. I think the most prominent flavour that people discuss with champagne is the bread, toasty, or maybe even yeasty flavour. And for me, there's a hint of that when I'm just nosing the champagne. But I'm going to go in for a sip now. Okay, so what I would say is that it's definitely got a good level of bubbliness, very effervescent. The bubbles are sort of popping on my tongue as I taste. They die away, and I would say you have that, again, the sort of bread, yeasty flavour of champagne. And it is actually leaving a lingering taste as well. It's not dying away super quickly. But what I would say is, overall, the flavour is, it's lighter, it's milder. So with other champagnes, I think you get that flavour lasting a little bit longer, or it's more pronounced. So this seems more of a subtle champagne. I would say it is that brut, that extra dry. It's not terribly sweet. There are some sweet little notes in there. I'm not going to attempt to make up any flavours or pretend I'm tasting apple or things like that, because that would just be being false. There is something that I'm recognising as sweet, but it's very light. I wouldn't be bold enough to put a label on it. So I'm going to just move on to a little discussion about the value of it. So £12.49, what a fabulous price. I mean, really, if you want to drink champagne but you don't want to blow your budget, I think this is such a good option. And this is why I chose to review it. I mean, we're not kidding ourselves. It's not going to be the standard of a pricier champagne, but I genuinely believe this is a really good option. Particularly if you're a bit like me, who I do enjoy drinking Prosecco, but there's something just that little bit extra special about champagne, but not always do you want to or can afford to spend £30-40 on a bottle. So what I would say is, if you're looking for something that is a little more upmarket than a £5 or £6 bottle of Prosecco, this is a great option. But I would also say it doesn't really compare to something. For me, my current favourite champagne is probably the Veuve Clicquot. Again, I really hope that's pronounced correctly. That for me is my favourite champagne, and you know, if it's a special occasion and I want to fork out for a bottle, that's what I would go for. But this Aldi champagne, it's actually award winning. It has been very well received. So I'm going to just create a very simple method of scoring these champagnes. I'm not sophisticated enough to come up with something more detailed, so I'm just going to say points out of 10. So if we say 0 is, oh my gosh, I just can't drink that, I don't know what, that'd have to be really bad. So that's 0. And let's say 10 is fantastic, I would pay any price for a glass of that, within reason. So I'm going to put this, I'm kind of stuck between a 6.5 and a 7. I would say, because of the value, I honestly do think it's really good value for money. You've got a nice champagne, oh my gosh, under £15, like really, that is very good. So I'll probably go for a 7. I think the points that I would mention are the flavour, it's slightly lacking the depth and intensity of other champagnes, I would say, but I would say it's better than a, say, £6-7 bottle of Prosecco. But I just wanted to round off this video by saying thank you so much if you've watched all the way to the end. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll see what we can think about for next month, maybe moving up to a bottle closer to £20, and we'll maybe give that a wee review. A final word of thanks to Aldi. I really do commend you for bringing this option to us. Thank you very much all, and have a lovely evening. Thank you.